Okay, though I believe no King's Day is a stupid, trivial tantrum, it is all the rage today in the news. It probably won't be by Monday. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. Part of why I'm happy is because the Democrats are doing this No King's Day out of desperation. They have nothing. Here, I'll show you. This is Chuck Schumer on Twitter. He says today's No Kings rallies are an affirmation of what America is about. If this clown dress up clown show protest is what America's about, this is what the Democrat Party's about. This is not, you know what America's about? Driving truck, driving screws, having a job, homeschooling your kids, eating fried chicken. It is not protesting dressed up like an inflatable frog, Chuck. We are a democracy. Is this actually we're a republic, but even the idea that we don't vote and there's a king or something, this is not for debate, Chuck. We have no kings. I love how he's informing us like, you know, everyone, we all agree that we have a king right now. But I got news for y'all. There are no kings. Thanks, Chuck. Thanks, Chuck. Despite the fact that Trump has even said he wants to become one. By the way, Trump could want to become a king all he wants, and it would not make him a king. Chuck, your party acts more like a king. Trump may, I really don't care if he even wants to be a king. I think he'd make a marvelous king, by the way, Chuck. And I don't think you'd even make a great senator. Here's Mike Johnson's response to that Chuck Schumer's, and this is part of my developing Mike Johnson and cheering him on. Yes, Mike, learn to make a fist. Fight back. We're teaching, it's kind of like teaching Pinocchio how to be a human, the little puppet. He wants to be a real boy. I think Speaker Mike Johnson is learning how to be real MAGA, overhanging with Trump. He's definitely flowering into more leadership, a stronger masculine form of conducting himself, which I'm all for. Here's Speaker Mike Johnson. Chuck Schumer has been in Congress for 44 years, but his power is now in jeopardy because the Marxists are planning to take his seat. That was the accusation against AOC. In his desperation, he's selfishly chosen to, quote, show a fight by one, shutting down the entire federal government, two, demanding 1.5 trillion new wasteful spending, and three, promoting a rally openly sponsored by communists. Chuck Schumer is shameless. True. But the best, most gnarly ownership of the Antifa, No Kings, communist rally is by Laura Trump. She absolutely smokes him on her own show. Right here we go.
Yeah, I mean, it's all ridiculous, Charlie. Obviously, everybody can see that. It should surprise absolutely nobody that the same group who doesn't understand the meaning of fascism and who also can't define what a woman is doesn't understand what a king is. President Donald Trump was overwhelmingly elected in the 2024 election. It was a Democrat.
I just like that last one. The party that doesn't know what a woman is also doesn't know what a king is. And just look at the top down of this protest. We're going to get down on the ground with some of these people. These are all old boomer hippies left over from the 60s. All of them. You'll see. This isn't now, here's C3 with just a reminder. There's nothing organic or grassroots about the No Kings protest. Just the usual communist NGOs and nonprofits every single time. So these are all laundered through the Democrat Party, hundreds of little micro companies funding this thing. And I believe each of those micro companies could be funded by Soros, but Soros isn't the bad guy here, guys. The Antifa communists themselves. And I talked to a friend last night on the phone. My friend has been inserted with Antifa. So he's gone to their meetings. He has gone and exposed them and seen them all for what they are. And he said they really are like, many of them are rich. These are like trust fund babies. They don't have to work. There's lawyers and intellectuals and mostly bubbled up. The young ones bubbled up from the university. The old ones are just the old the heirs type the Weather Underground guys who Barack Obama sat under in college for 4 years. So here's a reminder of when people say no kings, you got to remember this goes back. No Kings go back to the No Kings agitators take the LA freeways, don't stop. So here they are. I'm going to get to here. Look, because this tells you everything you need to know. They stopped traffic in LA. And then look at all the Mexican flags. No Kings does not, they will take on any radical. They're officially, pro illegal immigration. They don't believe in borders. Communists and never believed in borders because they don't believe in a country's own strength to define itself. There's the noise. They're just walking in the street, guys. And what was the fruits of there's a guy on stilts, on the whole circus element to it. What did that accomplish? They're not gaining ground. You're not winning votes. It's not helping anything. Here's Nick Sorter, who got Nick Sorter on why putting his life on the line to report on left-wing agitators is worth it. Remember, Nick Sorter got arrested up in Portland, Oregon, and the Portland Police Department let Antifa go and then went after him when he pushed against him. Here's Nick Sorter.
Well, because, Kaylee, this is a once great American city that has been taken over by far leftists, and I hate to see it. Pains me to see this, especially when you come out here and you're seeing people like you're having urine thrown at them in the middle of the street. The police will watch it happen, and they won't do anything about it. But somebody from higher up is giving orders to arrest people like me instead. And I don't want to see my country turn into this. I think
your country is not turning into this, Nick Sorter. This is my pushback on the right. Guys, this is cosplay. This is Comic-Con. There are evil people in Antifa. There are evil people in the anti-ICE movement. But the actual parades and the actual protests, this is just leftists, Democrats, whatever it takes. George Santos, Republican, is officially out of prison and back home with his family after Trump gave him a presidential pardon.
Congressman George Santos has been released from prison just hours after President Donald Trump announced that he had commuted the New York Republican sentence. Santos's attorney, Joseph Murray, tells me that his client was freed from the Federal Correctional Institution Fairton in New Jersey just before 11 p.m. Eastern Time last night. Murray saying, quote, "They were just waiting for his family to come pick him up because the facility was in a remote area. Once his family arrived, he walked out and got into the car and they drove home together."
So George Santos is a free man back with his family. I saw some guys on the right, even, some right guys, David Bonson, who I respect. I'm going to go watch David Bonson speak at Fight Laugh Feast here in Nashville in a couple hours. But David Bonson was furious that Trump let him go. He goes, "Republicans, how can you defend this?" And, David Bonson's always like the big Constitution, financial guy. He's on all of the right wing, not right wing, but the neocon shows. And he's not a Trump fan. And David Bonson goes, "You can't defend this." And the problem is, this is an example of David Bonson being anti-constitutional, that the president has a plenary power to commute sentences, to pardon people. And Trump used his constitutional plenary power. And because it's plenary, it doesn't even matter if you think it's immoral or you think it's wrong. David Bonson cannot complain about what the president decides is a reason why he pardons someone. Well, you're allowed to complain, but I'm just saying there's no constitutional basis for it. The president can commute any sentence he wants for any reason. And in this case, I actually think he's right because I think George Santos, who I'm no fan of, he's a liar, whatever. I think he's funny, but he got put away purely for political reasons. So I could see why Trump would reverse it.
So the shutdown continues. The Republican Party's not going to pay $1.5 trillion to illegal immigrants coming into our country, coming in for a lot of reasons, coming in from prisons, from jails, from all over the place, from Venezuela, many countries. We're not going to do that. So the shutdown continues. It's a Democrat shutdown. It's a Schumer shutdown because his career has failed and it's over. I met with President Zelensky, as you know, today.
We're holding our grounds. We're not giving up. We're not going to give illegals one penny. Now, I wanted to give you a look at the actual No Kings protest. Let's get down on the ground with the people. This is in Carrollton, Texas. Okay. Carrollton, Texas, guys. How are my Texas people feeling about the No Kings protest?
The No Kings protest here in Carrollton, Texas.
These are all old white people. Look at them all, down to a person. I don't see any black people. I don't see any young people. These are all old boomer, day by day, Godspell, put a flower in the end of your gun, peace, protest, make love, not war. These are all old hippies.
And it is almost exclusively all old white people.
Honky.
Kind of interesting demographics.
There's the printed no kings. They're all given a little printed sign. Here's your sign, little obedient, little useful idiot. Here's your sign. This is Brian Allen says, thousands are flooding the streets of Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's my state, out by my son's college. Tennessee, a deep red state, but not Chattanooga, my people. Sorry, neither's Memphis. To protest Trump's king-sized ego and authoritarian grip. This isn't a fringe movement. Now, remember, when the Democrat says it's not a fringe movement, it's a fringe movement. This is No King's Day in action. They're all excited. America's had enough. The crown is cracking. You're an idiot. Look, there's the inflatable frog on the right, their little symbol. Here we go. That's a copyrighted song, so I'm going to turn the volume down as we make our commentary about this protest. So, all white people, and by the way, Chattanooga has a huge black population. I don't see a bunch of black radicals showing up. These are all middle-aged, frankly, well-fed, because this is Tennessee after all, well-fed agitators, a lot of boomers, a whole lot of white people. Does this look like America turning? That's what I want to ask my chat. Does this look like America turning a corner? I don't think so. Wait, I got one more. This is protesters flooding the streets of deep conservative territory, No King's Day. That's the messaging they're putting out. The No King's Day is reaching into conservative territory. They're trying to make it into a national movement, though it's nothing of the type. Look at this. Once again, fat white boomers. This is in what a gray hair. No king. Yeah, when you go. Did that convince anyone? Did you guys see the people ringing their cowbells and holding up the signs? Are you convinced? I want to find, is there one person in my audience that goes, Doug, I'm kind of shaking in my boots right now. I don't know. I think maybe we really do have a king. Here's Bo Ludon reporting on the loser, Thomas Massey, breaking. President Trump just endorsed former Navy SEAL and Army Ranger L. Gallerine, urging him to launch a campaign against the rhino. Thomas Massey polling at 9%. So there's our guy there next to Thomas Massey. Thomas Massey fights back on Twitter. He says, well, looky here. This is Thomas Massey for Congress. The hack Trump just endorsed to run against me. Oh, the hack that Donald Trump endorsed to run against me is a Lindsey Graham donor. Are you guys afraid? He gave Lindsey Graham $300 in 2020. The guy that's running against Tom, everyone's going like, well, that's it. Thomas Massey, who does not vote with Trump, basically votes with the Democrats every time. Is there a reason why you would vote for him against a guy that gave to, see, he thinks you're stupid. He knows that we in MAGA, are not big fans of Lindsey Graham. So he's just politically putting a poison pill in your head. Here's Stephen A. Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me be very, very clear.
Good.
If the Democratic Party becomes the likes of Zoran Mamdani, who, by the way, I like, I'm not trying to throw any shade on him or anything like that, but
why would you say you like Mamdani? This is an anti-Semite. He's like, hey, he's got to play both sides, pretend like he's not, not a partisan at all. I love showing off my loyalty to the Republican Party.
If the Democratic Party becomes him,
yeah,
you have no chance.
You have no chance.
You have no chance.
You have no chance.
On a national basis in terms of the presidency. In Senate, seats in the House, you have no chance.
No chance.
You have no chance.
Done.
I want to be very, very clear about that.
You're clear.
You might have a Democratic Socialist sprinkled here and there, but that ain't what America is.
Oh, no.
America's about capitalism.
Yeah.
America's about dollars and cents.
Yeah. No one knows it better than Stephen A. Smith.
America's about an economy, a flourishing economy. Okay?
And dollars and cents and money and economics and banks and people trading goods and services.
And you know what it's not about?
What?
Free stuff.
I'm watching this for free, by the way. Wait, there's more. Here's the gal installed by her party's nominee for president without a single vote, telling you about the No Kings rally. The most intelligent, most capable candidate in American history, Kamala Harris.
Hey everybody, so in our country, the power is with the people. And,
is it?
And tomorrow, I encourage everyone to get out there in peaceful protest of what is happening in our country and express our voice around the country we believe in. So get out there and join the No Kings event near you, and please take care.
Take off the white sheet and put on the No Kings protest hat. That's what she's saying. Thank you, Kamala Harris. Meanwhile, here's the coolest king. Someone put this together for Trump. Yeah, this is all AI. He puts on a crown, puts on his cape, draws his sword, and then demands. Here's the people bowing. Oh, it's Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. Oh, yes, we bow to you. Remember during Black Lives Matter when they were bowing down to black people and they wore the African garb that was totally inappropriate and wrong for them to wear, considering it's tribal? We have them bowing down to Trump. Thought I'd end on a piece of humor. Go to church tomorrow, guys. That's how we practice our discipline. Do not worship alone, even if you're streaming on your house. If you can, get in a car. Go to a church and worship with your brothers and sisters. Thank you guys for watching. Those of you who are members of the Quad Heads, thank you for signing up. We're trying to get our memberships up. The join button's right next to the subscribe button, but make sure you hit the subscribe button first. That's how you show me you love me, and that's how you build up my poor self-image. I'm Doug in exile. God bless you.